Hey guys, this is KinShun with another Unison League video. Today I have a video of the mostly widely requested Guild Raid. So this update actually came about a week ago. I didn't really do a video on it first because I wanted to know what the Guild Raid is like first, and to provide some tips and hints later as I get more proficient at running this dungeon. So I tested a few, I did a few runs first with my guild before doing this video, and actually I'm doing the video now on the last day, so this would be more applicable for you guys running the guild raid in the next time it comes up. So I think this time around, the summon that you would get from the guild raid is Argo Castro, a green summon that gives 3,415 attack, physical attack, and magical attack. Really well suited for archers and soldiers and lancers, whoever needs attack. Also mage as well. So in terms of the effect of Argo Castro, I've seen people use it. Does 5 hits, random, kind of like the archer, but of all the 5 hits, usually 4 misses. It kind of sucks from my experience, but you know, more power to you if you can get all 5 to hit. I think this is a pretty good creature if you're able to use it for stats, for magical attack and physical attack, especially for mages. No, sorry, not mages, especially for archers. And of course, if I get this creature, I'm definitely going to use it. Not for its effect, but also to bring in my stats up. So this time around, the guild raid is very, very different. You get to use 10 people with 10 people in your guild with 5 active players on the field. As you can see, just like a regular guild battle. You can switch it between the 5 players with any active players that are alive to substitute them if you run out of cost, for example, or if you're dead, number 2. So what you do in Guild Raid is the goal is to accumulate battle points. And how do you do that? You do that by hitting Argo Castro, number 1, and there's also different requirements for you to gain bonus battle points. And of course, the more battle points you get, the more prizes and rewards you'll get. So, for example, running over the prizes, for example, you get, let's see, in terms of rewards, you get a lot of gems, a total of 11 gems. So the highest BP reward is at 150k BP, and that's 3 gems. There's a lot of tiers depending on how many BP you accumulate over the next 7 days, and you get very different things ranging from big experience lineaments, gold, friend points, grand medals, and actually Argo Castro himself. So to get Argo Castro, the SSR version, you'll need about 20k BP to do that. And if you want to get the reforged material for you to get him to the UR version, you'll need about 70k BP to get both Emerald Spear Orbs for you to upgrade to the UR version. So if you think about it, the range of BP you'll need per day, since the event is lasting over 7 days in the global version. The Japan version you get 9 days, but you know, people have been complaining about that on the forums. 7 days you'll need about 70k over 7 days, so that's 10k a day to get the UR version. If you can just afford getting the SSR version this time around, then that's fine. That's 20k, and that's actually very, very doable. So let's run over to the BP rewards you get per difficulty. So there's 3 different difficulties. You have Child's Play, which is the easiest one, Bastion, the intermediate, and Impenetrable, which is the very highly difficult version of the Divine Fortress Guild Raid. So each of the different difficulty gives you different BPs and also gives you different BP bonuses. For example, the easiest one, if you reduce the HP of Argo Castro 20% per day, at least you get about 10 BP on the easy version. But if you do it on the hardest version, you get 3,000 BP. So if you're able to take on the harder difficulties, it is very, very highly recommended for you to do so to maximize the BP you get over 7 days. If you defeat the target on the hardest version, you get about 8,000 BP. And you can keep doing that as long as you're able. Of course, you only get 15 minutes a day to do so. And my suggestion is to at least take down 1 bar a day. 1 bar is 20%, so that would meet the requirement for the additional BP bonus. So the run I'm doing right now with my guild that I'm showing the video is the intermediate level because it's our first run and we didn't know how hard the hardest version was going to be. Later on, I will probably post a hard version of the Guild Raid that we've done, and it's actually a lot more difficult. So be on the lookout for that. A little tips and hints on how to do the Guild Raid. So this guy has a lot of different abilities and skills that can one-shot you, party wipe you, and buff itself and slow you guys down. So it's really, really annoying in that effect. But here's what you can do, and here's what I recommend when you, at least these are the key things that I've noticed when running the Guild Raids. I've only run 3, so these ideas are really limited, but I think they'll really help you when you run these guild raids. So make sure you have a really strong guild, first of all. I mean, if not, that's okay. All you have to do is run the easier versions for lower BP, and then when you get stronger later, when guild raid comes back around, you can always challenge the harder ones. But Argo Castro has a couple of attacks. He has a really strong single attack, a really strong AoE attack that wipes your whole party, and a really annoying slow effect on the whole party, and it does have self buff to increase the damage of its AoE and single attack. So what you need to do is bring a cleric that is carrying purification and have a archer or some other party member with balance. Purification will remove slow effects that is constantly casted every 5 seconds onto the party, and it cancels out the haste that you would try and get to your party if you summon Chronos. So, and of course, you can't really unison all that much, especially if we try doing it together. So bring Purification to at least annul the slow effect that Argo Castro casts. Balance is always key. Balance, you should at least have 2 to 3 players carrying balance, because every so often Argo Castro will cast a buff, and he will always cast the buff before your balance cools down. So 2 to 3 players. Why? Because number 1, you're not going to survive. You probably will die at some point during the guild raid. And number 2, if you die, what happens? You need somebody else to fill in your shoes and cast balance. So 2 to 3 players is my recommendation with balance. Purification, I would bring 2 priests as well with Purification, just in case one dies. And also 1 reliable tank that can take the damage. At some points, Argo Castro, as you can see, Blue Winter here is taking all the hits, surviving the 1 single hit targets, and also taunting Argo Castro with its Divine Smash and Dual Sword, which keeps the threat on to the Paladin. Really, really helps, really useful, and if the priest is able to keep up with healing, this really allows the other classes' DPSs to damage Argo Castro as much as possible. You can see Argo Castro does do single attack, single damage intermediate level, as you can see here in this level, but on the harder levels, Argo Castro actually casts a 3-person adjacent hit attack instead. So you want the tank to be as far as away as possible as the DPS. Especially do not put DPS right next to the tank, especially on the highest difficulty. So that is my suggestion. Yeah, I think that's it. So just running over Argo Castro for the guild raid, you really want to cast summons that helps your party, buffs your party, and debuffs Argo Castro to minimize any damage and to maximize your damage. And haste was good, but with its constant slow debuff, I don't think it's good at all. So always have a cleric with purification, at least 2, and then to clear the buffs of Argo Castro, always have 2 to 3 players with balance. Other than that, fill your party with DPS, switch off when cost is low, and just strike DPS down the HP of Argo Castro. Good luck everybody during this round of guild raids. I actually don't have enough for Argo Castro right now, so we'll see how it works today. We want to actually kill him so I can get my UR version. So good luck everybody out there. It's the last day. Thanks again, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment, subscribe down at the bottom, and press like. I'll see you guys next time.